As someone who used to be a social media influencer, here's why I stopped.
While everybody's trying to become a content creator, I actually don't want to be one anymore. And as someone that's been a content creator for like 7 years, I'm going to tell you why I don't want to be one anymore.
I started posting online in May of this year. I just hit 3,000 followers and I'm making this video because I'm quitting.
So today we're going to be taking a look at influencers and why so many are quitting and going back into the real world. Even though it feels like everyone wants to be a content creator in today's world, some have found out that it's not all it's chalked up to be. And this can be for many reasons, as we're going to see today. We have a ton of stuff to go over along with comments from you guys from previous videos. So if you want to be featured on a future video, leave in the comments down below. But let's jump right into it.
As someone who used to be a social media influencer, here's why I stopped. Anyways, there's three main reasons why I quit doing social media. And number one was the algorithm. Number two was the people. And number three was simply just because of who I am and who I became. So what a lot of people don't understand about social media is that you want a slow burn when it comes to creating your audience, right? A lot of people are always creating content for that big, huge video, right? And there are certain situations in which that can propel your social media career and really set you up for life. But I would say for the majority of people, what really works best is slowly building that audience and creating buy-in for who you are and what you are trying to do on social media. And unfortunately for me, what happened was I made a few videos that ended up, popping off, getting like 1 million plus views, 1 million plus likes, and got a ton of followers from it. And it really just anchored me down to only creating kind of like a singular kind of content. And if I didn't make any content surrounding that central idea or theme, it really didn't go anywhere.
And that's one of the big reasons why so many people have difficulty with the algorithm, especially if you make some sort of video that does go viral. Maybe your next couple posts don't have too much in common with the popular video, so you end up getting thrown out of the algorithm. Then you go back to videos that ended up working and it's still not getting pushed to as many people. And as time goes on, the views and money dries up. He did also talk about the people you would meet in the influencer world. Not too surprising, many of them are completely fake. All they care about is selling you products and making the most money they can in the quickest amount of time. And finally, over time, people change. So maybe you don't want to make the type of videos that were working for a long period of time, or you just don't want to do content creation at all anymore. We could go over to the comment section. I've talked to a few guys with millions of followers that struggle to break $3,000 a month. Hard to live off of that, especially if you're relying on the ad revenue from TikTok views. That is not doing well right now. We'll talk about that a little bit later. We got a comment from you guys right here. Being an influencer is like a gold rush in California in the 1800s. Everyone wants to do it, but there isn't enough to get rich quick. It has definitely become very oversaturated. But like the guy said before, many think that they just need one video to hit the algorithm and go viral. It'll jumpstart their career and they'll be rich.
One of my videos hit 1 million views. Time to quit my job and become a full-time influencer.
Now I know this clip wasn't that serious, but people legitimately think like this. And especially if you're talking about TikTok, 1 million views now doesn't mean that much.
While everybody's trying to become a content creator, I actually don't want to be one anymore. And as someone that's been a content creator for like 7 years, I'm going to tell you why I don't want to be one anymore. I wouldn't even consider myself a big content creator because on TikTok, I only had 200,000 followers, and on Instagram, I only have like 70,000 followers. But here are some of the things that I just don't really align with anymore that I used to align with. And it's the reason as to why I don't want to be one anymore. Yeah, the first one, and probably the biggest one, is the parasocial relationships. That is very real. People telling you what to do, people not liking you for certain things, or people almost like demanding and wanting you to be a certain way because they feel like they know you. That is a very real thing, and I don't think I like that. And because I already don't like that as someone that only has 200,000 followers, I'm not seeing myself going further, as in hitting 500, 1 million followers, because it's just going to get worse.
And I feel like that's another thing people don't think about. I'd also like to add that it could end up being dangerous at one point, honestly, especially if you're a woman on one of these social platforms. There's a lot of guys who are creeps or straight up degenerates and will try to find every bit of knowledge about you, where you live, your family members. There's a pretty extreme example that happened quite a while ago with a big singer and YouTuber named Christina Grimmie. She ended up getting killed by one of her superfans. Again, very extreme example, but something you definitely need to be aware of.
This is my influencer ick and the reason why I stopped trying to become an influencer. Okay, you are sent products that are so crappy, so bad for the environment and so bad for your body, and you're supposed to get on your social media and lie to your followers, trying to convince them to buy this product that you're claiming is life-changing or you couldn't live without it. Girl, what? No. Like, they're actually the worst products ever. And if you're a big influencer and you're partnering with like big brands, sure, maybe they're fine products. But it's like, when you're just starting out, you are getting like Temu and Wish crap. It's bad. And you have to just pretend like it's the best stuff ever.
And that's basically the entirety of TikTok now. Just garbage products you have to lie to anybody who's watching just to get a commission check. And we got a few comments from you guys that goes very well with this. I wish they were called what they actually are. Digital salesperson. How many people want to be a digital salesperson? Hot take, if your income comes from endorsements and not your content alone, you're not an influencer. You're a pitchman. And that's an overwhelming majority of the lifestyle influencers that we see on social media. I can't really lie, it's the same cookie cutter day in the life stuff whether you're in NYC or LA, and they all just end up trying to sell you everything they possibly can.
We gonna keep it real. It's bad as hell if you an influencer right now. I have pals and pals tons of PR, and I'm scared to show the damn products because I don't know what company gonna come out in this, weird bull next. Child, I'm about to eat my lunch and I'm just staring at all of it. It's just piling up. It's piling up. And that's why I made the conscious decision to just go ahead and quit.
It feels like every week a new company pops up sponsoring a whole bunch of creators on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, whatever. And then a few weeks or few months goes by and you find out they're a terrible company. Either they're scamming people, lying to you about the product. I mean, if you want to look it up yourself, there are a whole host of YouTube videos going over all of these companies.
You ever wonder about those influencers that you used to love watching, but you forgot about, and then you go check up on them and they really don't get as many views anymore? And you're like, are they broke now? Do they have any life skills? All they were was an influencer. Well, I am an ex-influencer and I want to tell you about what my life is like post-influencing. In the height of my career, when I was like 23, 24, I was making about $500,000 a year on YouTube. So I'm not like $500K a month like some of these like mega influencers, but that's still really good just for a kid with their camera, right? Making that sort of money. That's like a doctor or a lawyer makes that. That's still definitely like privileged influencer money, I think. I was doing really well. And then I decided to quit.
Okay, so this example is a little bit different than most of the other ones we've seen in this video, but legitimately making that kind of money, if you were smart with it and didn't just go crazy, within just a couple years, you could quit and be able to do really whatever you want. And that's exactly what she talked about in this video. However, we've seen many examples of people being in the exact same situation, making tons of money when they're young in their early 20s, thinking that they're going to be an influencer forever and the money's never going to run out, and then just a few short years later, when their popularity dries up, so does the money.
Seeing the downfall of creators from back in like the late 2000s or like, 2017, 2018, 2019 is one of the craziest things to me, because it's like, y'all was the main ones talking about I'm never going to work a 9-to-5. I'm making $30,000 a month. Girl, what the hell you do with the money? What did you do with the money? Now y'all over here begging on live every day, talking about I ain't got no money. Go get a job like everybody else.
And they actually have to now. But with this atrocious job market we're in, it's already very difficult, and now you're pretty far behind compared to everybody else. Maybe you didn't finish college and get a degree, you don't have as much experience as others. It'll be extremely difficult for you to land a job. And another thing, talking about some of these successful influencers, when they do start making serious money like the $30,000 a month, some end up being pretty out of touch with their original content. We got another comment from you guys here. The guy who quit his actual job to be an influencer doesn't get that they were watching him because of your job content. What a moron. Now this comment's talking about Hub's life, a creator that we've gone over in a previous video, where he made content like a day in the life of just a normal office job worker. It wasn't anything over the top or super fancy, just showed his normal everyday life. And it resonated with a lot of people because that's a majority of people's lives. He ended up gaining a whole ton of popularity and decided to quit his job to just become yet another influencer. But very quickly everything came crumbling down because now he wasn't making the content that people wanted to watch.
I want to talk about why TikTok creators come and go and why most of them end up disappearing. So if you think back to your favorite creator from 2020, 2021, they probably do not post anymore. And so I want to go over the three main incentives for why people become creators. And that is fame, money, and enjoyment. And I want to start with money because I'm sure most of you at some point have thought, oh, big whoop, all you got to do is post yourself and you make thousands of dollars. Why would people leave that behind? And while that's a very valid argument to have, most of these TikTok creators really aren't making that much. You would be really surprised. And that sort of leads into enjoyment. So when you start posting, you can literally post whatever the hell you want until you find something that works. That's the beauty of starting. But once you get that ball rolling, you have to stick with what works. You can do things similar, but you cannot just post whatever the hell you want. And when it comes to fame, it is not what it's cracked up to be. If you don't know me, I have an account with 3.7 million followers. I've been posting since around 2020, 2021. At the end of the day, I'm still an average Joe. You're still an average Joe. TikTok fame is not real fame.
I don't know, I guess it's just my personality, but I don't really know why anybody would want to be famous. But regardless, that could be some people's main goal on social media. And another thing he talked about was the money. Yes, of course, there are examples of people making a ton, hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, but that's just not the majority of creators. We have a clip up on screen right now, me returning to the corporate world after my failed fitness influencer career, and another one, exactly how much I made in my first 6 months as a micro influencer. September, nothing, no paid deals, no PR packages, just posting and hoping. I remember refreshing my notifications 20 times a day for emails that were not coming in yet. Again, right off the bat, it sounds like the content isn't really unique compared to every other lifestyle influencer. You're just hoping to show products to your audience for some money. October, $130, my first collab. November, $260. December, $310. January, $140. They say everything slowed down, views dipped, emails stopped. And the last month being $980. But when you take a look at what they said, they're trying to sell you a product as well. My biggest month so far, I saw a lot of influencers talk about this app called Go Viral that lets you test your videos. Oh man. So honestly, I don't really know if this post is real or they were just trying to sell you something the entire time, but the 6-month total being $1,800, I don't think I have to tell you that's not a lot of money for half a year. We got another comment here. It's like no one remembers the term starving artist. Most never see any real success and spend their whole life sacrificing for the love of their craft. There's a lot of content creators out there that don't really love the craft. They just love the possible paycheck. And I'm not trying to prop myself up here, but I have been making YouTube videos for a little bit over 16 years now. May of 2010, I uploaded a Modern Warfare 2 knife-only nuke on Estate, and it took till the end of 2024 for basically anybody to actually watch my videos. Most of the time, your journey will take a lot longer than you think.
I started posting online in May of this year. I just hit 3,000 followers and I'm making this video because I'm quitting. And I'm quitting, largely quitting while I'm ahead. And my reasons have really brought up like a lot of conversations that I never would have thought I'd ever be having. Here we go. My first reason is that in the past few years, and especially recently, I've just been seeing more and more and more and more about the horribly negative health effects, mental health and emotional and physical effects of consuming short form video content. I swear to God, like I feel like article after article after article is telling me this, and I feel like I've experienced it firsthand.
And I've definitely seen that in the comment sections. Many people saying that they watch my videos, but they don't look at TikTok at all. So it's kind of their way of finding out what's happening on that social media platform, which I understand. TikTok brain is definitely a real thing. The amount of screen time that comes with posting is the worst part. I had one video go viral and that was a dopamine rush. And then the subsequent crash, I would actually like to never experience that again. It was low-key exhausting. That takes another problem into consideration. The dopamine wanting more followers, likes, engagement, money. It could completely take over your life.
I was making between £4,000 to £8,000 a month as a full-time influencer. I did it full-time for 4 months before I gave it all up and went back to a regular job, and here's why. Now, when I say I gave it all up, I didn't technically give it all up because I'm still doing it, but I don't have to do it. There is no pressure. It's all on my terms. Now I know that I've got a regular job that's going to pay the bills and anything else is just extra. Now, the saying, be careful what you wish for, is very, very important in all of this, because I realised when I was a full-time influencer that all I wanted back was my old life. And I feel so lucky that I got my old life back. I'm actually working at the same place I worked at before. I was made redundant from that job, but I've gone back doing a different job and I'm so happy. But years ago, if you'd told me that I was going to be a full-time influencer and that was going to be my job, I would have screamed. I'd have been so excited because that was my dream. All my wishes came true and then I didn't want them anymore. Okay, the main reason that I went back to work is because I was getting into bed every single night panicking, thinking, what if I don't book any work next month? When you're doing a job like this, you cannot rely on it. It fluctuates so much. It goes up all of a sudden one month to more money than you'd ever imagined. Then you have to pay tax. You have to pay tax, and that's so scary. And then it drops all the way back down and you could make nothing in a month.
And going straight over to the comment section, also people don't realize you have to lie to get paid. It does something to your soul. It's not worth it. It's honestly not. Talking about all the sponsorships people shill. Another thing too, talking about taxes, people don't realize it, I guess. We got another clip up on screen, going to bed tonight after filing taxes for my first year of influencing, only to realize I owe half of what I made. Well, especially if you're another one of the LA influencers, the California tax is brutal. And if you were working a normal 9-to-5 job before influencing, all your taxes were taken out by your employer, and now you have to deal with that yourself. Just yet another thing to consider. But going back to the previous clip, they were lucky enough to get their job back at the company, because as I said, the job market today is not great. We'll finish off this video with a comment from you guys. I had an employee who quit work to become an influencer. A year into it, they asked if there was any virtual work. I said no. After another year, they asked if we had openings. Nope. Nothing wrong with dreams, just have a realistic plan and a solid backup plan. I agree with that as well. I'm not trying to make this video saying nobody should be a content creator. Don't do it. There just needs to be realistic expectations, and don't jump in head first, because most likely you're not going to make the money you see the biggest influencers make. But that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. YouTube thinks you'll like this video popping up on screen right now, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and I'll talk to you guys later.